What mistakes did you make that the new couples should avoid?
We didn't do any mistake.
No, we've got loads of it.
When your partner moves in, make enough storage space.
A weird couplet, maybe.
Who mother matched you to now is who is important, and we learn in Sahaj to be in the present.
How did you and the couple grow spiritually, and how can the new couples improve on this aspect? And saying meditate together, I will not accept it as answer.
But that is the answer.
Well,
Technically, yes. What mistakes did you make that the new couples should avoid?
We didn't do any mistake.
No, we've got loads of it. We definitely got married very quickly. Like we did our legal wedding in way too little amount of time. I would say really take your time to organize this very beautiful day.
We were kind of forced because of
Yeah, we had
because
a
Shivani
visa thing.
Yeah,
Shivani did her permanent visa,
My past.
so we were quite like. But if you don't have anything that is forcing you to get it done so quickly, you can take your time. Normally in life, you learn from mistakes, and then so that the next time you don't commit them again. But in a marriage, like
You don't get it next time.
like
I'm like, we
that
gotta
was
do
done.
this again, Hakeem. One more, just one more.
it was done.
Anniversary.
So like you learn so many lessons that then are like, okay, so what now?
Also, another thing I would say, if you always give your attention and your priorities to the needs of the collective and not to the needs of your marriage, that can be really tricky. So you kind of have to balance your efforts always. So
I think looking back, you can definitely think of things that could have been done better. So yeah, so to answer your question, I wouldn't change anything. That doesn't mean that we didn't make any mistakes.
And I would say we could have probably done more Sahaj treatments in that sense. I guess if we have to answer this question, I would say
Also funny ones, huh? Like
I can start.
a weird couplet, maybe.
Yeah, don't do weird couplet.
That's actually very on point. I really respect people that go for funny and short couplets. That's an incredible way to start the journey. But not a mistake that necessarily me and Monta did, but I think a big mistake that I would immediately call out and say and tell people to avoid is to bringing the past in the present. No, past is in the past. Shmataji is very clear about it. Leave it in the past. There's no need to dig. There's no need to bring it up because you feel guilty of something you did. If Shmataji is matching you to someone today, I don't think that she doesn't know who you are today and why this match works. It's important to be transparent. It's important to be honest, but that doesn't mean that you need to bring the list of your skeletons in the wardrobe and bring it up again, because that will just create Maya. It will just create a mental attention towards insecurity and spoil something sacred. So simple thing for me would be leave the past in the past.
It's funny because I was going to say the exact same thing. I think me and Sophia did definitely make that mistake as well. We indulged a little bit more into, our past, and I think it's not necessary. I definitely feel like that was not important at all. Who mother matched you to now is who is important, and we learn in Sahaj to be in the present. There can be a huge indulgence in that, but we didn't know that mother said that. So I think there was I wish I heard the talk or wherever beforehand. So that would have helped me, I think, a little bit at the beginning.
When your partner moves in, make enough storage space. You're a man. You don't need that much stuff. Your wife needs a lot more things.
I feel one thing which we shouldn't do is try to understand everything that's happening. What we learned over time is when there's something brewing, you just meditate on it. You can talk about something if there is something concrete that you know. But if you're just trying to figure out and you're just kind of saying something, and it's because also inside yoga often we do that. It's like because of we find signs or things like that. Or
We overanalyze a lot.
Yes, yeah.
Because of the vibrational aspect as well. Why this?
And often it's just negativity. But also in those conversations, there's a chance that you could hurt the other person by saying something just meditate on it. And if it's really something that has to come out after meditation, you're at least also in a better state to say something. So
I wanted to add one thing. I hear this often enough. When you're married at the beginning, you're married to each other. And I think it's important to also remember that the families can get quite involved as well. And I think a big mistake is, we are not married to the whole family. We're not married to these families. The family is a Sahaj family. I think sometimes those influences can definitely have an impact. And so one advice I would say is make sure that you try to not let too many external influence or impact the beginning. I know everyone's eager to meet the couples, and there's, you're constantly meeting a lot of people. You're probably introduced to a new collective, and that collective wants to get to know you. But also just remember that there is a lot of pressure with that, and that would be probably one advice I would give.
About bringing back the past, can it also be a way to clean it?
I think with everyone who brings, it's the temptation to kind of use it as a sort of confessional, to clean it up, to bring it out into the open, talk it through, work it through, and then it's cleansed. But I think 99% of the time that's not how it works, and it just there's a very, very, very tiny minority of times where maybe it's relevant because there's something specific vibrational that you're suffering from in the moment that you can't get rid of. Really, most of the time, it really never seems to work.
It can also create insecurities in the other partner, but like, why are you bringing it up? Are you still interested in that? It's not worth that insecurity.
You don't want to create avenues for negativity to attack you. You want to protect yourself, and we can obviously work on a subtle level to protect ourselves, give things bandans, shoe beat. We must not forget that those are tools that we have.
Yes, we were talking about protecting ourselves. And how can the collective help the couples? Is there any mistake that the collective actually did?
Whoa, such an intense question, Lele. Like, and that person said that thing to me.
I mean, like
really unappreciated.
Like in general.
One thing I would say, this has not happened to us, but I know it happened to other couples. It's just not okay. It's just not discretion. If you say to the couple that you don't think they will work out or that they're not well matched for each other, I think it's in no way for anyone else, like for anyone to say it. It's just for the couple to feel. And the thing is strongly out of balance to voice an opinion like that. And already to think something like that, I think can put a lot of negative and bad eye on the couple, which is already not helpful. But to voice it out loud is really inappropriate. Yeah, also the other way around, by the way. Telling someone that they have to say yes is also not a very balanced thing to do.
I want to share one contemplation I did in the past. And then you asked this question, which is, I think, exactly fits very well. So we have this problem in Sahaj marriages that we have to find new ways of building families in Sahaj Yoga. This is all my personal opinion. I would actually encourage more yogis and yoginis to find partners outside and to bring them to Sahaj. Of course, there should be some kind of Sahaj Dharma that should be maintained, but I think it's possible. It should be not criticized, but even encouraged to manage new ways.
I think the biggest help, I know you were going to say something, but the biggest help, actually, you said it already, is for the collective to give the couple space. And obviously, it's going to be super exciting at the beginning because the announcements are something that happen collectively, that happen for the collective to enjoy you specifically, all their, uncles and aunties and brothers and sisters. Everyone is so happy and excited and has their attention on you. That's it. When the stream ends or when people leave Cabela, the collective should give space to the couple to figure out where they're going. And even before, actually, not before the stream. The moment the announcements are made, the Sangha should kind of take one step back unless their help is asked, directly for...
And also after you're married as well, like that. Also, ironically, to the converse of that as well, I would say also, often it's one person moving to a new collective in a new city. Really do your best to welcome them, within the boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely.
they would like to have done. Really give them love, welcome them, talk to the person who's moved there, really try and help them to feel at home.
Yes, don't push them away because they need space. Let them decide how much space they need. And
there's a balance. Give them space, but open them with open arms and make them feel at home.
Yeah, and try and because also for the person that's moved, I think there is often a sense of displacement in that they have become a plus one to someone else's life, and their own life is kind of question marks for a long time. So really try and connect with that person as well, and who they are as a person, as themselves, not just because they're so-and-so's husband or so-and-so's wife.
That makes me think, one tip specifically for the Italians, when wives or husbands come in from abroad and they don't understand Italian, I think the hosting country, the new hosting country should do their best to speak English and to make the person feel welcome. This is something that we don't always do, but other countries also don't do.
It will come back to that thing. How can we give more love? Are we using our voices, our actions as a thing to help, just to make them feel loved, knowing that there are many ways to give it? And the couples, be careful also about how much you reveal also to the collective. There's also a limit to how much you involve the collective into the early stages of you getting to know each other. Don't broadcast your struggles. That's also a thing to protect yourself from negative attention. Don't broadcast everything that's going on. If you need some support, then maybe seek the company or comfort from one or two of your dearest brothers and sisters. But I think there is a danger where some couples, they reveal too much, and then rumors start, negative attention spreads, and these do not help the couples absolutely at the beginning. So
in any moment
that's true. So the beginning or 7 years down the line.
Private things for private moments and collective things for collective moments.
Yes.
Last question. How did you and the couple grow spiritually, and how can the new couples improve on this aspect? And saying meditate together I will not accept it as answer.
But that is the answer.
Well, technically, yes.
It's the obvious one.
Can I give a cheeky answer? So you said we can't say meditate together as a way to grow together or overcome challenges. So I'll say, when you feel the reaction is coming or before conflict, meditate alone. So take your time. Before count till 10, take your time, maybe go for a little meditation when you feel there is a quarrel, and then you'll see that you come back to seeing things into perspective and understanding that, hey, maybe it was just I had a bad day today.
Also, I think vibrationally, the power you have over each other is enormous. Like if I'm having a run of bad, like there was a time I had a run of bad, just a recent occurrence. I had a run of bad days at work, tough days, extremely boring days, tedious days. And as I was getting, I work from home, so as I was getting up to, work from home is like you get up, you meditate, you go sit on your laptop. As I was getting up, Niraj just gave a quick bun done, and and then she went about her day. And just her doing that in the morning, that day was completely different to the fall that preceded it. It was amazing, productive, worthwhile, breakthroughs, everything. And it goes vice versa as well. Like it's such a strong response from when your partner does something for you vibrationally or helps you out or works on you. It really it's an absolute game changer in many ways. So that's really nice.
That leads into probably the other advice, which is something that Niraj, you covered it at the beginning. This communication is communicate to each other and make sure there are no expectations that will be unfulfilled, and then create a vicious cycle of quarreling and getting angry, misunderstanding and whatnot. We don't read each other's mind, and everyone has their journey, but we have this journey together. So stop and make sure there is a very open and genuine communication in the couple, and in any stage, from the very beginning to the very end. And when I say genuine, I mean, and we covered it at the beginning, It's not something that you talk to get rid of a sense of guilt, or it's not that you talk to for any, secret agenda. It's actually a talking to understand the other and make your point of view clear, so that, through that dialogue together, you both grow. Because maybe your point of view is wrong. or maybe it's no one is wrong or right. It's just the conversation will lead the couple into a shared experience that will help them in the future.
Yeah. No, I think the only thing I would like to add is, your kundalinis are intertwined, but at the same time, your journey with mother is independent. You can't blame the other one for your vibrational state, or not being something or other, or you got into an argument and because of this and that. You have to remember that there was an uncle that came to me and spent a lot of time with mother and said, your marriage is a kakini, which is individual. The journey is you're on your own. Ekakani means alone. I think if I'm understanding, it's a Sanskrit word, but it means, I think, alone. But it's an individual journey, and it's between you and mother, and you can't blame the other one for your journey. You're born on your own, and you unfortunately pass this life on your own, and that's the connection.
Help. You get kind of like a little help with your partner. Exactly.
So we are here on our own because both our wives are in Kalajari. and when, as soon as Sophia, and I think we've been talking, and Danu had a similar experience as well, soon as she was spending time in America and arrived in America, there was this huge Vishuddhi clear out. But it wasn't just her, we felt it too. There was this huge thing being worked out that we felt by our wives being there. And so there is a lot of subtlety there. Our kundalinis are intertwined, and there is a lot more going on subtly than we give credit for, we may be conscious of. And that you're supporting each other. And when you feel that you need to give each other a bit of a bandhan or attention or anything like that, it works. It definitely helps.
So what is also interesting, seems like the vibrationally situation of the environment seems to have like a huge role on the person or also on the couple. Like if you're a couple that for the moment, because you just got matched, you live like in two different places, you're like staying in your house, in your room, also to keep it like holy. And if you're just moved out together, to keep your house like like vibrationally established or balanced, seems to be like really important. Wasn't a question, it was just, that's it.
Yes.
Can I add something a bit mundane? Just because it just occurred to me. So this is more on the like basic level. In the West, if you watch TV or movies and stuff like that, there's this like kind of this illusion that the guy knows exactly what to do. And I feel like that creates because those are the expectations that we have, like, oh, he'll get us flowers, he'll do this, he'll do this. It's not that that's bad, it's just that it doesn't always happen. It may be the case that you have someone who gives you flowers, and if they don't, I'm just going to use the flowers as an example. There could be other examples.
Top tip, guys.
But no, if they don't give you flowers, it doesn't mean anything. But you are allowed to ask. Like, I think for girls, it's like sometimes you ask, and that also brings a lot of joy, because then they're like, oh, I know what to do. But I feel like we have to get over this idea that they will know because I feel like it, and therefore they should know. So I feel like that's one of the communications is don't think that your partner knows what you're thinking. And if you really want something, ask sweetly. And most of the time, it's like
men love to be helpful. It's like really great.
Men also need a little bit more black and white. We kind of sometimes need to be told the basics.
But I think
unfortunately,
that also extends the last question, which was, that's another way actually in which you grow together, is that because you have this love for each other and there's respect, you're always looking for new ways to make the other person happy, to surprise them, to do little things in their day that just make them feel good. And even that desire and that attention actually makes you grow more as a person. You become more loving just to everyone around you, because you're in this mode, you're in this space where you are uplifting your spouse, and then that applies. So that's also a great way in which you grow, just by creating this happiness between the two of you.
Yeah, I would just stop one step before this step, because if you reach the moment that your wife has to tell you, bro, you have to give me flowers, maybe your brothers didn't really give you the best tips.
Yes.
It's not just flowers. It could be random. It could be random.
Yeah, like any gesture, anything.
Something, it's just like you don't just sit there like, oh, I feel bad, and then he's gonna come.
Head rub or massage.
Leila, you're absolutely right. Absolutely. If the brothers have a huge responsibility in this, to make sure that the newly married get the basics right. I was super lucky to get this holy list of it's like 4 scrolls. It's about 42 advice in bullet points from this Roman yogi, which for me was tremendous help, and I passed it along to all the new married couples. Hakim used it, Matteo used it, Guido used it, and it was
I received it.
You received it. There you go. This is the key for a good Sahaj marriage.
Gift.
Your brothers have to take care of you and give you the right tips.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
So, okay, how did you and the couple grow spiritually, and how can the new couples improve on this aspect?
Can we answer like challenging yourself to do new things?
Yeah, sure.
Are we okay? It's not
So, like,
meditation.
answer with whatever answer you have. It's like
yeah, I would say challenging.
Answer
to do
in
new
5
things.
words.
Yeah, in the practical sense, and if you're opening your mind, broadening your mind to new ideas, perspectives, can lead to more compassion. Trusting someone else can also lead you to give more trust to other people. I think there are many aspects of your personality you can grow just by being in a couple, and again, not necessarily by being in a Sahaj couple. It's also just in your relationships with people you can grow if you put like love and attention in it, and like it's quite obvious when you have a marriage that you're going to put love and attention in that, and then without meditating. Yeah, meditation plus also some.
now you can add it. Now you can add it.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
yeah,
wanted to say no. It goes on the same line, and a very practical thing that helped me in different aspects of life is a whiteboard mentality. So you start from a white piece of paper or whiteboard, and you fix a point, you fix a desire, a goal, an objective. And it can be a spiritual objective as well. It can be, okay, I'm too attached to something. I want to become more detached. So you put this objective, and then what should I do? What should I do to become more detached? So maybe you read the speeches of Shrimataji, where all the Shivratri pujas. You go on Amruta and you put the keyword detachment and see what Shrimataji says about it. Say the names of Shri Shiva, or you read about Shri Shiva and also the epic of Shri Shiva. Do something towards your spiritual objective. And sometimes I personally also sometimes don't fix these kind of like goals. And for me personally, it's not so easy. Like if I just sit down for meditation and I don't focus on something on a subtle level, I don't feel like I'm growing on a specific, like maybe I'm growing generally because I feel cool vibrations, or I feel my kundalini that is rising, and then it's I feel better in that moment. But maybe to work on something very specific on the subtle level, there is like some practical things that can be done, because Srimataji already talked full length about so many subjects. We can start from very simple things.
But what you guys actually did this year, and I put myself also in it because we are a huge couple with 3. what was really cool was what was really cool is that we did a public program together. So also like studying Sajja Yoga together and doing like programs together can make you grow spiritually even without meditating. That's also, I mean, studying Sajja Yoga together also because realized souls lack in the knowledge of Sajja Yoga, and I'm the first. But it's like it's true because our parents tell us stuff, and we never really studied like they did. So that's also like a great moment to do that. Maybe, yeah, and then you decide whatever you want to do, couples.
You couples.
If I can add something to what Akim was saying before, if you want to get to know more about deities and stuff like that, you can always listen to the Ramayana episode that I did with the Shivani. And why not? Why not? Ganesh or Shivani, especially because they didn't
Yeah,
really
maybe
talk.
we can just do the same. Yeah, I would. My favorite topic for that answer is compassion. It's I mean, we learn about compassion, and kind of everyone kind of knows what it is. But I feel like when it's time to actually
Practice.
practice it, this goes with any relationship. You see someone doing something, and why is this guy not just getting it right? You know, you can clearly see that it's something stupid, or someone is lacking, or it can be something very silly or small. And now it's, yeah, why is this guy doing this? And I can react and judge, but often we don't know the reason behind it. And very often it's like that. Once we find out, oh, actually that dude, I don't know, has a broken foot, and that's why he didn't come to the program or something like that. And I was like, oh, yeah, actually, that's a very good excuse. So then, I was quite stupid, judged quite fast. So I found a very nice practice for myself to make up excuses, to tell myself why this person is lacking that. For instance, I can see, oh, that dude again is somehow lost in some Maya. And it may seem so obvious to me that, it's a waste of time. But to keep keep telling myself, yeah, there must be a good reason. Probably, maybe there's some, I don't know, karma, or maybe their parents, or blah, blah, blah. Just find a good excuse for the person to take away my own judgment. Like, oh yeah, if that is true, then I would be stupid to judge now in that moment. With this kind of mindset, it was much easier to show compassion.
And Shivani, if you don't want to add anything, or if you want to add anything.
I don't have an immediate response to this question actually.
Mhm.
But I know I definitely grew a lot since I've been married. Going back to what Ambika said, I probably resonate most with what Ambika said here about having an open mind and changing your ideas a lot and testing your own strength in yourself. When you're kind of in a situation with someone else, you also realize your own qualities and what you bring to the different situations. I would say that a way that we have definitely grown is to be a lot more clear and precise with the promises that we make, also to the collective and in general, and to aim to really not let people down in that way. Instead of kind of being a yes man, it's much better often to just be clear and say if you can't do something. I think something that I could answer this question with would be, since I've been married, I've learned to recognize and I've learned to really trust and respect the power of vibrations and the power of God, because at least it made me really look inside, really pick apart a few things that had to be resolved. And that was really, really hard. And it is very hard. It's amazing how Sahaj Yoga as a tool works. Like, not in the sense that like, if you clear yourself out, you'll be okay. I mean, that's also true. I mean, in a way that maybe I didn't recognize before I was married, because I didn't have an opportunity perhaps, or I didn't give myself the time to see that. But maybe these things just came up in my life after I got married. I don't know, but it's definitely connected somehow. And using Sajja Yoga, you can really turn what seem like problems or really big issues or really difficult things into something really, really beautiful. And that's really, really rare and really, really cool.
So thank you really much, Shivani. And so thank you really much for this episode. I think that it's gonna be really useful for the new couples, can also be useful for the old couples, the old generations, the current generations, and whatever. Thank you really much. Thank you really much. And see you soon, guys.
Thank you,
I wanted
Lilith, for
to-
inviting us. It's a really beautiful idea, a very beautiful concept.
I wanted also to give a big hug, lots of love to all the new married couples, and to wish all the best. We give you all our blessing and our support, and yeah.
This was Sahaj Times. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Ciao.
And cut.
And cut.